Steve, you had a couple days between the first preseason game and the second. Now that you've got during a week, the guys kind of start to get into that regular season rhythm a little bit.
Yeah. It's the cadence is changing slightly, so I think it's more of an assimilation of the season, and I think we just keep taking those steps to be prepared to play opening night.
Well, back is he full go?
Yeah. No one's going to play enough to be full go, but he is available to play as much as all the other guys.
Curious with the defense, as you guys are kind of integrating a whole lot of almost a dozen new faces. How do you, I guess, accelerate that process of having guys that are good individuals, defenders, quick hands, and so forth, and making sure that the team concepts down in the right place?
I don't know that accelerate is the wish. I think it's we want to continue to build and grow, and if it happens quickly, great. If it doesn't, we got to stick with it and keep building. So we do have some defenders that have joined the team. We do have some intelligent, experienced guys that know how to defend in different ways. So I think we have some defensive-minded guys, but you're right. It takes time to form those bonds and connectivity at that end of the floor, and on top of the understanding of what we're trying to accomplish. But we try to keep it fairly simple. We try to build in a very sensible way so that there's not a lot of confusion, and that they can, get a chance to really, I don't know if master is the right word, but to get those details down and then to be able to build a layer from there.
I apologize if you got answered yesterday, Steve, but what sort of went into the decision to have Kyrie stay back and sort of do work at home as opposed to being down here with you guys?
We're just trying to navigate this thing. We don't really know what's going to happen tomorrow. So I think really it's, we're just trying to take our time to figure out what everything means. And, new information seems to come in every week. And so it's, as much as anything, we're just, in that process of trying to navigate not only the information, the parameters, but also what's coming down the line and how it looks and feels and what we can do to make this work and all those things. So that's all.
And I guess in general, but sort of Brian's question, now that you're a couple weeks in, obviously it's been a week in San Diego, sort of how do you feel about where the group is at as you try to work a ton of new pieces together, and guys are great with play together last year and everything else? Like, kind of where do you feel 10 days out?
Yeah, we feel good. I don't know if that means we're going to get off to a 10-0 start, but we feel good about the guys. Their approach, their energy, their commitment has been great, and we'll get there when we get there. But we can't ask for anything more than the guys that provided us on the floor and in practice and in these games. And we're also not in a race. I don't think we're, this isn't a situation where we're like, we have to be a finished product at the start of the season. We want to incorporate these guys in a natural way to build on last year's kind of continuity in a natural way with the new players and allow it to come. I think if you force it or you put too much pressure on that process, I think it can backfire. So I think we're trying to do it in a healthful way.
For your guys, other than the ones that you've announced, obviously, is everybody else available?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Nick, Bembry, Kakoff, that's it, right?
Yeah, and then you said the market.
Oh, LA is we're just gonna rest in the night. Just rotate, rest, no reason other than that.
And with James, it's a little off topic, but the rules changes that they talked about emphasizing this year, unnatural motions on shots, etc. Kind of impact do you think that would have on James and the way he's obviously going about savagely drawing fouls his entire career? Yeah. And what kind of conditioning does he have to do? Because he obviously didn't get to play as much in the offseason as he normally would.
Yeah, I think the rules are, something that everyone will adapt to. Plenty of guys have. The reason they changed the rules because too many guys are doing something they're not comfortable with. So players will adapt back and they'll figure out how to play within those rules. So I'm not so worried about that. And the conditioning is just something that takes time. That he's been hurt predominantly for 6 months, and so for him to rehab back to health and start playing basically in training camp. It's still a process that's ongoing. So we have a lot of patience for James to make sure that he can do it in a safe manner. We don't want to accelerate that process too much. We want to let him get to work and try to support him as he gets back a rhythm and a level of intensity that he's used to.
Well, what's his name? You said Nick.
Yeah, Nick's ill.
Okay.
Yeah, illness. Sorry. Right. Okay. Thanks, guys.
So we hop in on Zoom. We have Zoom questions.
Jump in there.
Sorry, Steve. Just kind of like bigger picture. You guys had a very short training camp last year, if any training camp at all. So what are you guys able to do this year in training camp that maybe you weren't able to do last year?
I think it's actually about the exact same. We had, I think, 21 days last year, and I think this year it's about 21 days, maybe 22, 23. So it's basically the same training camp. It's shortened than, years past because the season has kind of taken on a different complexion, the way they've spread it out a little bit. Shortened camp is kind of my recollection. So it's not so much different other than we had time to prepare. Last year, it was kind of thrust upon us. Here's the deal. I can't remember how long before camp. Was it like a month or so before we sort of figured out what it was? So that's a little different. And then we have 2 extra exhibition games this year. So, I'm not sure that it changes that much from last year, except we have a little more preparation before camp. And we know we have a little more time during the season to continue to prepare because it's a regular schedule this year.
Cool. Thank you.
Steve, this is Logan. I have one quick question, if I could. Since it appears you might not have Kyrie for more than half the season, do you have to consider reducing his role to give everybody else a better chance at developing continuity throughout all the games, even when Kyrie is eligible to play?
I don't know. I mean, maybe that presents itself somewhere down the line, but I wouldn't imagine so. If he's out there, he's out there. But this is all stuff that we have to figure out. And as I keep saying, navigate, because it's kind of unprecedented. So I think, we're just trying to take our time and not rush into any preconceived judgments of what we're doing and figure it out as we go.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.